Well, for the coaching staff, that we've been together since September 1st every day for at least 7:30 till 2:30 every day. So I mean, we've I think become pretty close pretty quick, and we're all on the same page. So that was my main concern, is making sure we're all together as a coaching staff, and getting up there in Penticton, seeing the scouts and everything, knowing wanting to know what they're looking for in our, and even like saying, okay, what's this guy like? You seen him play junior, you seen him play college. Give me more insight that I had, because I haven't seen him yet. Those are the important things, So I think everybody's improved, everybody's excited, and we can't wait to start, like every other team. But
were there any players that you saw in Penticton that sort of jumped off the ice at you?
well, I mean, they didn't jump off the ice, but I mean, when we went there, like, because we looked at I didn't know any of the rosters, quite frankly, and you look, and one team has 4 first rounders, another team has 2, and we didn't have that. I was wondering how we would, stand up to these guys, but I thought our work ethic, the young players, was outstanding, and we outworked everybody. I didn't see the third game, but I thought that was really going to be the cornerstone of what the Canucks are all about. Is we want to be in your face, outworking every team, making it very difficult for you to play against us. And as far as the individuals go, I mean, it's interesting to see how an 18-year-old Klimovich was growing up a little bit, and you'd see the Carlsons and the Almonds and the Bains and these guys that you don't know any at all of a sudden saying, yeah, you know what, he shows signs. So those were all good things.
Special teams league, Bruce. In the second half, you guys were dynamic. Power play, PK, top 10 in the league. You probably know Mikheyev just from his Toronto time, but JT talked about how he kind of breezed by him a few times in informal skates because he skates so well. What dimension can he add to the PK? I think he had 4 shorthanded goals last year.
Well, you know what? When he's out there, it puts the PP on the defensive. I would venture to guess every pre-scout, they're sitting there talking about, when we've got the power play, we can't cheat on it, because if they get possession, he takes off, and if we can hit him with a pass, he's going to have a breakaway. I mean, so that's always a positive thing. But I mean, I think he's just a good PKer overall, which is it's great that he scored goals. The number one goal is to not make sure that the other team doesn't score in the power play. So he's going to add to that dimension. He's going to add to the speed dimension of the team, which, I mean, people would have said that we weren't the quickest team last year, but this is an added thing that's going to be great. I mean, I watched the Leafs so much, not only last year but the last couple of years, and always thought that he was underused, and thought that, I mean, given more dynamic, maybe 2 or 3 minutes more a game, that his production would go way up. So hopefully that can happen with us.
When you look at the wingers that have been brought in, how many different lines have you created in your head before coming into training camp?
How high a number can you think? I mean, and not only different lines, but playing the right side, playing the left side. The only thing I really know is that we want to start with Bo, Petey, and JT up the middle, and everybody else is either, we've had lineups where they're playing the left side and the right side, and talked to all of them where how they like playing this, if I plan on moving them to a different spot. And but hockey's one of those things where line changes happen on a daily basis almost. So I mean, and everything is, one injury could mean 3 different line changes. So I mean, at the start in tomorrow's practice, we'll have the lines, at least 4 lines that we're hoping look like opening night, but the next day they may all be changed. So who knows?
Do the scrimmages help with that then? Like, having so many scrimmages, does that help you test those lines?
Well, it makes them get to know each other a little bit better, I would think. That would be the main thing, if they go all out in the scrimmages, which we'll tend to see.
Does that change the way that you'll go about maybe the lineups you'll put together for exhibition games, because you've got the different combinations and you've got so many different possibilities for those sports?
Yeah, like, I mean, the tough one will be Sunday, because we got to put 2 teams together and X amount of veterans in each game. So, but I tend to think I'm going to try, like, for example, in Penticton, there was a line of Waters, Klimovich, and Nielsen, and they played well together. So why wouldn't I keep them together here? And so we're going to do that. And I mean, and in preseason, at least the first couple games, the lines that we have out there, we're going to try to keep them together as a unit rather than saying, okay, JT, you're playing, but Besser's not playing, so we'll put another guy up. I'm trying to keep the lines together to keep some familiarity with them.
Bruce, I was going to ask you about that habit of keeping lines as consistent as possible as your new group adjusts to one another. Do you use training camp perhaps to see with some of the wild card things we've talked about, which defender can play the right side, a Kuzmenko thing, for example? Do you want to put them in premium positions right away so that you have a good sense of sort of where they're at immediately?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to just put them somewhere and then change them at the last week. I think, you got all this time for training camp. Let's put Kuzmenko on the left side right away, and let's see how he goes. Let's start Garland on the left side. See how he likes it. I know he can always go back to the right side, but he's talked or not, he hasn't talked. But I saw him play the last 10 games on the left side last year, and I thought he did a really good job, and things started to open up for him. So I mean, if he's okay with it, let's try him on the left side, and let's see if maybe somebody else can play the right side in that line. So that's an experiment that we're going to try right off the bat.
One thing you accomplished in your 57 games here is obviously we all know that Pettersson struggled in the first half, even took 10, 12 games while you were here, and then after that Florida trip, we saw him score at a 40-goal, 90-point pace the rest of the way. He talked about grappling with that, learning about himself this offseason, almost mentioned having 2 versions of himself last season. What conversations have you had with him? How do you make sure that he begins the year as the second version of that?
Well, I think the big part was that he committed himself this year to having a great summer of working out, and he's healthy. And I think if you look at last year, I mean, he had the wrist injury. He's had the holdout. There's been no excuses in his mind for him not to come in and be the player he can be. And every time I've talked to him, he's been like over the moon, ecstatically, can't wait, all of those adjectives that you can talk about him. So I'm excited to see him play. I think he'll come in, and I don't want to put any pressure on him, but I think he wants to show the world what the real PD is for 82 games and beyond. And I think I'm hoping that that's what we see.